what to do. There's caffeine on the house, it's active, radioactive. Loving you felt like dying on the operating table, like climbing a ladder till I give up and fall. Like the anesthesia didn't work, and I feel the creation of every scar. Like a movie I'm chained to.
Wait, really quick, guys, I have to tell you about my GoFundMe for my music career. I have a GoFundMe for my music career starting from $0, raising money for ads to grow my audience and to reach record labels. If things grow, then I will eventually be using that money to turn my YouTube demos into full professional real recordings. And help me to go as far as possible. I bet if you guys will do your best to help me and to invest, you guys could probably turn me into the biggest pop star in the world. It's just going to really depend on how much you guys are willing and able to help me. So please do what you can to help, and I love you. Mwah. Bye.
I have 1 penny to buy this iced coffee, but this is everything you gave me. How did you know the gum on the ground was yours if you've never seen it before? There are no refunds for this part of me. Don't forget where you were when we met. I wanted to be liquidated, but they haven't found me yet. I'll spell it out for you when I'm free. There's disrespect in the water and the liquor can. Hi guys. Hi. I'm Celeste. I have these tiny Reese's rabbits, okay? Rabbits. Not teachers. Apparently there's like glasses. They're here to educate, okay? They're teachers. They're here to educate, you know? A rabbit on the inside, a rabbit on the outside. I don't know. Okay, it's giving, it has a face. Kind of normal. I don't know which day Easter is. Today was the 6th. Now I guess it's the 7th, it's 12:55, but I wrote a bunch of songs today. I still have a lot of lyrics just saved on my phone right now that I haven't got to yet. So probably like hundreds of songs worth of lyrics. I probably do have like an insane like thousands and thousands of words, you know, because they're gonna be like 15-minute songs. Some of them are gonna be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, okay, depending on the song. Most of them are gonna be between 5 minutes and like 15 minutes. A few might be like 20 minutes and a few might be like 5 minutes. Okay. But it's gonna feel like hundreds of new songs coming out. Oh, and the 9th the 9th is my 1-year anniversary from when I put out my first song on YouTube ever. So, and I've pretty much been putting out songs like almost every day since then, and I'll have days where I put out like 10 songs or something, you know what I mean? So in like a day, so it kind of makes up for like if I miss one day or something. So what I'm trying to say is that's how the past year has been, and then that's the anniversary of that whole entire year being that way. So it's kind of funny. It actually felt like the entire year for me went by like that, but not like I missed anything. It's like, you know, when you're working on a project, I don't know, hopefully you guys have felt that way too. These cabinets look so blank, don't they? I don't know. Weird topic. I'm like a solid color. Anyway, not my business really, but like no, it's not bad. It's just like funny. I don't know why I had that thought out of nowhere, because like, you know, when your brain just like is like, that's a weird idea. But like, yeah, I don't know. So I put out already over 1,300 songs, okay? It is not 1,000, it is over 1,300 currently in 1 year. So that's how much I didn't stop. That's how much I kept going, and like way faster and like way better, way smarter, you know? But the year went by in a way where it made it like I remember every like second of it, because you know how sometimes when a year goes by it feels like, oh, I don't even remember like what I did this year that was like important, or what did I do. It made it like I just remember every era of the past year, because you know, an album is kind of your own era. It is. I think Culture had that word reserved for only Taylor Swift, which is cool, works for her branding. But for the rest of us, when we've all been having eras of our lives for our whole lives, it makes it kind of like choppy. It's like, are we supposed to be able to use a word that's a part of somebody's personal branding? Well, I guess it can't be exclusive to you because it didn't come from you, so it's like we all, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Or I think for a while I was like, oh, are we supposed to say that? Like, are we supposed to be allowed to have like eras of our own lives? Because because it did become like a, oh, that's owned by this person type thing, you know? But then the rest of us didn't stop having eras of our lives, even if not by choice. We just got dragged there, you know? An era isn't defined by, oh, you were around these people, hanging out with these people, doing these things. It's really like, what were you interested in? Like, who were you in that moment? So yeah, but for me, I do consider them eras, but I consider them, I mean, I consider them albums, but they're also eras because, but the funny thing is, for me, it isn't like, oh, an era like finished necessarily. It's like, these are kind of all like, maybe they're not eras, but they're, well, I don't know what I'm gonna call them yet. It may be that I have something different to call them that I just haven't unlocked yet, right? I don't know yet. Because maybe they're not eras if they don't completely end, necessarily. But like different things that I'm willing to be over time, right? So is it an era? Only some of them are like, oh, well, I don't think I would go back to that exact perspective or that exact moment, right? Hindsight, you still learn, but like, you know, if you're like, oh, okay, I grew, that happens. I don't know. I'm eating these Reese's like their, what, like chips? I don't know. Like, can't just have 3. I don't know. But they're good. Little eyes. I think there were only eras for me in the context of like a map of your growth and evolution. But it's not like, oh, I've closed that chapter, I can't ever be that person again, I can't ever reference it, I can't ever like have fun with that again. Which sometimes, you know, I feel like we really mostly see an example with Taylor Swift, but we also see other eras, like other artists like take on like, okay, like I have to rebrand this time, I have to do something I've never done this time, you know, I can't reference the last one that much, or it's gonna be weird. Like, I feel like it keeps the cohesive personal brand. Like, what are you gonna show up wearing? Oh, you're evolving the current era that you're in. But I don't know. I feel like I could like bounce back to like the other vibes, the other aesthetics, but like for me they're also all unfinished. So it's like I don't know what they're going to develop into, because my current era is like the whole past year. You know, I think actually a way to look at it is that eras really do have to do with time, but it doesn't mean that you have a set number of albums that take up that time. It might be 0, it might be a lot. And it doesn't mean that that era didn't happen if you have none, or if you have like not a lot. And it doesn't mean that that era happened to a greater degree necessarily if you have multiple albums during that time. So I don't know when eras separate, but maybe when you realize that you're different than you used to be. I feel like maybe all of the unfinished projects that I'm sort of collecting right now, maybe that's all an era for me, you know? Or maybe eras are something I'll have in the future as far as like evolution of myself as an artist, because I don't think every album forces an evolution if you don't allow it to, or if you don't cause it to, because I don't feel like I had to force an evolution. I mean, I think maybe at first I was like confused about what is an album. I think the more that I was on the outside of being an artist, the more I was completely sure I knew what an album was, and I was completely sure I knew what music was, you know? It becomes, I think the first thing it becomes is more self-defined, and it starts to not be about other people as like step 1, right? Because if you're waiting for somebody else's concept of music to grow within you, it's never gonna happen. But then I feel like I grew into like being like, what if I don't know what an album is? What if I don't know what music is? But what if it's this open-ended thing where like, not that it doesn't have the DNA of music, like if people can't tell that you were singing or it was music or whatever, maybe they'll be confused. They'll be like, is this a novel? Which that isn't bad. Maybe it's like a spoken novel, you know, but which again, I don't think is weird. It's like an audiobook. Like that's an accomplishment. I think when you start not knowing what your projects define as, that doesn't take away the fact that it ever was a project, which is crazy. It doesn't start not being a project just because other people can't tell what it is. Like, again, it's still an accomplishment. You still sat there, you created the whole thing, you were willing to put it out. That's still an accomplishment regardless of what this is. It's still art. You used your own view of the world to create this, like it's still art. But, I don't know. I feel like I started to self-define my own perspective. Like I wouldn't want to like have to feel forced to like borrow other people's words or context to like force you to see me a certain way when first of all I don't even know if it's effective because I'm not inside your brain. So I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, I accomplished something by making you feel something about me or think something about me. I'm never gonna know. I'm not gonna jump inside your brain and make sure it worked. Like, there's that. Not that that would be awful, but like there's really not a lot of like, okay, let me check that that worked. Okay, good. There may not be a lot of that. But yeah, like I guess I wanted to use my own definitions that I created, but also be willing to accept when I don't have definitions for like, or words to define like what I am creating or what I want to call it. And like maybe I can guess what I feel like I want to call it in the future, and then my future self will be like, no, it's something totally different. Can't believe I ever believed that. And I think that maybe that's part of like having eras in a way. It's like, oh, a part of you evolved and you can document that is sort of what an era is, I guess. And you can like now compare them all together. Isn't it so weird I used to think like that? Isn't it so weird I used to dress like that? Isn't it so weird I thought that was fine? Like glad that I'm different now in this way, that way, and that way. And now you can see it. Like, I guess it's sort of what an era is. It's like a fish. Not a fish I tried hard on, but it's like a fish. It just is. I guess like I started to want to self-define it more as like myself as like sort of a scientist, which I know is gonna contradict some people's definition of science, but who cares about them because they're not very important if they can't actually like be able to be like open-minded to like what I'm trying to say about it, you know what I mean? Like closed-minded people will like freak out, probably catch on fire and stuff, but they won't burn soon enough, will they? If they're a little too closed-minded. So it is what it is. Yeah, what was I saying? I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, I guess like I like, you know how like science has a lot to do with like just observing things and taking notes of like, oh, what happened here, like what's different, what is this? Like I feel like my evolution of like my own belief of like what an album is and music and like what does it mean to like have all these options for the next one, and like do you know what all the options are? Like how do you come up with the options? How do you like think about the options? Like the analysis of what it means to have options and then choose some of the options. I enjoy. It's pretty interesting. I feel like I have a more like scientific lens of like the open-ended concept of what an album is. Because, okay, if you have a concept album, you just have like a plan for it, like a theme, you know, versus you're just writing a bunch of songs that kind of seem similar vibes and then you throw them together in your ways of throwing things together. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm willing to get it wrong, I'm willing to get it right, I'm willing to experiment with what an album is, what do all my albums have in common, what do I want them to have in common, what do I not want them to have in common, like, is it bad if I do something and feel like it messed up the project? How can that not be bad? Like, what's not actually so bad about that? Like, in what way does it expand my experience of art? Like, I don't think that never feeling like you ruined the project is real. I think that's what we project onto other people, you know. Sometimes maybe you add something and you're like, oh, wait, what if that wasn't gonna go with it? Maybe I ruined it, maybe I went backwards, maybe I went forwards. Like, what is this? What is this? At least I'm not like experimenting with production yet, so I feel like sonically I don't have to worry. But also, what is worrying? And what is something being sonically a certain way, or them having to have something to do with each other? Like, don't you get to self-define to what degree that matters? Don't you get to self-define to what degree that matters? And like, who's trying to take that from you? You know? There's that. But like, I think sometimes we also, as people, look at what other people in the I look at what people in the entertainment industry are doing to decide like what parts of this apply to me, what parts would I do differently, like what's weird about this, what's good about this, what would it look like if I did something completely different or completely similar or the opposite or wanted to be like that, you know. And then sometimes I feel like, oh, I went too far in that direction, oh no, I gotta go in the other direction, oh wait, I went too far in that direction, like bouncing back and forth. But I think also it's like the journey is to learn that self-discovery and self-acceptance are a part of your art too. So if you're not willing to take the risk, you're like missing something, I don't know, missing a part of what you could have learned from it if the risk is calling to you. And that's sometimes a thing. But even when you're not feeling a deep calling towards something, sometimes, you know, when, I don't know what it's called, but people sort of have like, it's like there's this concept where like if you're writing a novel and you're burnt out, for example, if you just start writing, you'll end up coming up with something that like you never would have thought of otherwise, because you just start writing and you start writing whatever is entertaining you. And then you start to like kind of learn something about yourself because maybe you weren't actually burnt out, but you were trying to force certain kinds of ideas to work, not following, okay, what is my current passion then if I feel burnt out or I think I feel burnt out? Then what is the current passion? Because you never don't have anything that you can kind of make excite you in a way. So what would it mean to follow that instead of allowing yourself to stay in the like emptiness of feeling burnt out? Well, odds are there's still something that excites you that you can kind of put together. Or if you're so burnt out that you can't create something, you might end up creating like a crazy album that you never would have thought of, you know? Only because sometimes when people get like writer's block, they're like, oh, wouldn't that be so bad if like, what if I could never write again? Like, I think that happens. But yeah. For me, like I haven't taken a break yet, so I know that probably changes the process and the creativity and like what I would be drawn to, but I wanted to wait and take a break after I finish all the projects I'm currently working on, because I felt like, I don't know, that was the challenge that I sort of set my eyes on. And apparently I like doing difficult things, so here we are. You sort of grow into whoever you are, somebody, you know? You just become whatever you are. I guess I'm fine with taking on a project or 50 at the same time with, like, I like that, it looks like I'm starting a new album, like it's not even about other people, but like to me, so I can't even imagine how other people would feel about it, but like to me right now, it's like, oh, I'm like announcing an album, but I already have 49 waiting for me, like unfinished. It doesn't look like I'm ever gonna finish this. 6 days later, I have 40 songs out of the new album that I just announced. Like, coming from nothing at that point, right? I saw a weird flash from the windows, but nothing was there. It just looked like a ring light. But the windows, like the curtains are like over it, so it's not like from outside. It's not like actually, it was just odd. Anyway, I love you guys.
They can't tell me what to do. There's caffeine on the house, it's active, radioactive. Loving you felt like dying on the operating table, like climbing a ladder till I give up and fall. Like the anesthesia didn't work, and I feel the creation of every scar. Like a movie I'm chained to.
Wait, really quick, guys, I have to tell you about my GoFundMe for my music career. I have a GoFundMe for my music career starting from $0, raising money for ads to grow my audience and to reach record labels. If things grow, then I will eventually be using that money to turn my YouTube demos into full professional real recordings, and help me to go as far as possible. I bet if you guys will do your best to help me and to invest, you guys could probably turn me into the biggest pop star in the world. It's just going to really depend on how much you guys are willing and able to help me. So please do what you can to help, and I love you. Mwah. Bye.
I have 1 penny to buy this iced coffee, but this is everything you gave me. How did you know the gum on the ground was yours if you've never seen it before? There are no refunds for this part of me. Don't forget where you were when we met. I wanted to be liquidated, but they haven't found me yet. I'll spell it out for you when I'm free. There's disrespect in the water and the liquor can't